Uh, Jorge Souza is a great referee, actually. He has the insignias of the FIFA. He's been an international referee since 2006, so he should know better. He was talking to a young player in the second division, Sporting B, not even in the first division. It's players they're learning their steps. So one day when they go to the first league, they know how to play, how to talk to referees, how to talk to their colleagues. So that's why George Souza, as a referee that represents the APAF, that represents Liga Nos, that represents Portugal when he referees in international games, he should have known better. You don't curse, especially now with the VAR. They have microphones and they know it. So you should
VAR in
contain.
the Segunda Liga?
Yeah, well, in that, who was the microphone that caught it? Was it Sport TV
I have,
microphone?
I don't even know how, because you were guys were playing against Real Masama, right? So I don't even know how the, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who caught the whole conversation. If it was a microphone from Sport TV, but you could hear it clearly. Him cursing at the Stojkovic, telling him "Vai para a baliza, caralho." That way, you know what I mean? And he's a ref.
Hmm.
When a player does it, a referee has some kind of they give them a little bit of a break if they're not really cursing at them, so they kind of let it slide. But I'm pretty sure if they called if a player calls a referee names, it will show him a yellow card, if not a red card. I would personally.
I'm going to go out and say that from experience, from what I know, that has happened before. Yet, they don't yell card at players. Okay, sometimes they don't. And what I think is, I understand what you're saying, and I get everyone's point of view, but I think it's something that it's just uh, a way of the referees to fight back to the players without giving them cards. I think it's just that actually. It's not meant to be disrespectful because players are disrespectful to the referees. So the referees, instead of giving them cards. In this case, it's a goalkeeper, so it wouldn't be too much of an issue. But if we're talking about a bigger game, they don't give out cards because they don't want to ruin what's going on, the game, and you all know what's going to happen if somebody, let's say for example, Adrian Silva, right, goes to the referee and calls him this and that, and he gives them a yellow, and then 5 minutes later he fouls, gets another yellow, he gets sent off in the Benfica Sporting game, and now you're gonna see in the newspapers is how Adrian Silva got yellow carded for cursing or whatever, and nobody even heard what he said and stuff. Y'all know that's what happens. I'm not lying. The referees also protect themselves that way in cursing to the player. Of course, not always is gonna be good. Not always they're gonna be right, and it's never the right decision. But it's the best way that they have of defending themselves without ruining the game. Basically, that's my point of view. That's just my opinion. I
Okay.
get it. With kids, we need to. I think that with kids, I agree with you. With kids, they should be a little bit less aggressive and maybe show more yellows. So whatever it is, what it is. Give them more yellows. But when we're talking, actual Primeira Liga games, actual derbies, actually, classics, that will happen. And sometimes you see it on TV a lot. If you can read lips, it's not that difficult.
No, listen. I agree with you. We could see in every sport there's cursing. You could see it, but like in the NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL, there's cursing too. But you never see a referee cursing at a player the way he did. You have to listen to it. It got very personal. It got personal, and you never see a player getting personal with the. I'm talking about when it gets personal. Cursing happens all the time. We see it on
Yeah,
TV. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, when he scored that impeccable goal against Guimarães, the first thing he did was goal, caralho. You could see it on TV. You could read the lips. But that was not towards anybody. He just said it. Is it right? No, it's not. You know why? Because who's watching the games at home? It's kids. It's possibly your wife, my wife, you know, sporting senhores, benfiquistas, portistas. They're watching the games. And I'm pretty sure they don't appreciate those kind of curses. So players and coaches And referees, they have to have a conscience to tell themselves, they have to brief themselves and say, listen, in nowadays, everything is being recorded and taped live. So everyone can listen to us, can hear us. So we should watch out what we say. Because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, they're role models for our youth. So if you're cursing on TV, then our youth will be, hey, so Cristiano Ronaldo cursed, so Pizzi cursed, so Bas Dost cursed, so Abubakar cursed, then I can curse. So they have a responsibility, including George Souza and all the other referees, to contain their language, especially when they know the importance of certain games like Benfica Sporting, Sporting Porto, Porto Benfica, até Braga já, Braga Porto, Braga Sporting. Those games, there's millions of people watching, so they should be careful. That's it.
All right. Well, all right. We'll close the chapter on that. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things progress. We'll see if this happens more often, and then we'll bring it up if needed. But I think people got everybody's opinion. They might agree with you and not with me, but at least now they hopefully they understand that I'm not condoning what George Souza has done. I just simply believe that it's a very common occurrence in football. And, if this actually becomes a thing, I'm not quite sure how we're going to stop it. Maybe they will just say to the referees, hey, listen, just give them the red. It doesn't matter. We'll protect you. Because just to close this up, I'm just going to say that I think that the referees aren't protected enough by their, by the APAF or whatever. Like, they are very susceptible. There we go. To a lot of things, a lot of critics, a lot of criticism, but they actually don't get anything in return. They don't have anybody protecting them publicly. They don't speak out publicly. So I also think if they had somebody, that would also help.
But personally, APAF actually does a great job protecting them. One of the first ones to come out to protect them when the suspension came out was the APAF, and then you have Associação de Lisboa, do Porto, Braga, and do Porto also came out protecting Jorge Sousa, like they should. I understand, but I'm going to send you. I'll DM you the video. It was all over the Twitter, and listen to it and see what happened and why it became viral on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and on social media, and even on the Trio de Ataque, Prolongamento, all those shows that I don't really watch because I think they're all garbage anyway.
All right. I'll listen to it afterwards and share you my 2 cents, but I don't think it's going to change a lot my opinion, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Moving on now to Benfica. Then Benfica played Belenenses. They won 5-0. Jonas scored 3 times, Seferovic and Salvio. And everybody got annoyed with me for saying that, whatever, that comment, which I'll pass up. Bruno Varela in goal, André Almeida, Luizão Jardel, and Eliseu across the back. Filipe Augusto filling in for injured Feza, who should be back next week, apparently. Pizzi, Salvio, and Servi, Jonas, and Seferovic. Very easy game. 1 minute in, Jonas scoring, open up the game. Team played really well, very fluid. Pizzi, Jonas, and Seferovic are a joy to watch together. It ended 5-0. It could have well ended 8-0. The amount of balls that hit the post, they went just wide off the post. It was an easily controlled game by Benfica. Although I have to say, Belenenses did try and bounce back into the game after they conceded very early. But after that second goal, it was game over by that point, and they really took it, very bad. That second goal, it just kind of ruined their whole team. And Benfica being the team that it is, they just controlled the game. They created about 10, 15 chances, and they converted 5 of those. So there's not much to it. I think Filipe Augusto had an okay game. He didn't play badly. I think when he's playing with Pizzi, it's a different story. Obviously, I'm not comparing him to Feza, but he's an okay player. And the Almeida didn't do much. Luizão and Jardel didn't have much action. Eliseu had a play that we're going to discuss. Savio had an okay game, also scoring a good goal. Everybody else that came on also did a good job. There's not much to it. It was an easy, comfortable win, and for the first time in like 20-something years, Benfica wins the first 3 games of the season. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add to this.
Well, the only play, the only play I will bring up was with Eliseo, and if anybody says he didn't deserve a red card, I got to tell you, you're totally blind, because what he did was for a red card.
No, I agree that he should have gotten a red, but yeah.
I mean, the thing that upsets me the most is this one. When Slimani because people go back to that. When Slimani gave the elbow, yes, he should have gotten punished. I know it's easy for me to say it now, a couple of years later, and we didn't even know each other at that time. But when it happened, I was watching the game with my father, and I said, well, he should have gotten a red card. He didn't. He got away with it. Then it dragged on, and then when they gave him the suspension, it was summertime, which was bullshit, really. So when something is wrong, just because your club says no, it's not wrong, you have your own intelligence. You have your own eyes. You as a Benfica, you should be capable of saying, no, that he deserved the red card. You shouldn't just agree with your club because they say, of course they'll say that. Even Sporting will say that when it happens to Sporting. But you as a fan, as a personal friend of mine, o que é que custa dizer a verdade? If you see, you have your own eyes, why do certain people, they don't want to just say, yeah, he deserved a red card. Certain Benfica already said, yeah, he deserved it. But the vast majority, they feel the obligation of going along with the club e com o Pedro Guerra, que não vale merda nenhuma, and other commentators. But why? That's my question to you, Peter. Why?
Listen, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that I don't know. I only watched it, I think once. I think I only watched that play once. So
it's on Twitter. It's all over Twitter.
I know. But I'd have to look it up. But I will look it up. But from what I remember, I think Eliseo could have avoided the stomp. Now, if I think it's intentional, I have no idea. If he should have been red carded at the time, I guess so. I don't know if the thing with the VAR is, didn't they bring in the VAR to avoid the summarísimos? If so,
I agree.
Why are we talking about this, right?
Yep.
Because if the video arbiter missed it, then I'm not sure how we can punish him, if you know what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if you agree with me, but it's, you can't have the video arbiter and the summarísimos. I don't think so.
How is it done in the Premier League? In the Premier League, when they miss something, by Monday, Tuesday, they look at it and then they make a decision that fast. And that's the way it should be in Portugal. But in Portugal, it looks like everything é diesel. Parece aqueles Mercedes antigos a diesel. Everything is so slow motion. So if something happened and things will be missed, and now you're reviewing it, and a comissão de disciplina, and then you say, damn, he missed it. VAR missed it. But that was a red card, so yeah, he should be penalized. And actually, I'm reading it on record, and they're looking into it.
They're looking into it, yes.
You might get suspended. But the thing is, the VAR, why doesn't it work every time Benfica plays at home? I have no clue. That's a good question. That's a good question.
Oh my God. Let's not. Oh my God. Don't. I mean, why are you?
No. I'm just saying. If he missed it, then I'll shut up. If he missed it, I'll shut up. But then you still have a Conselho de Disciplina. They look at it, and then they should make it a determination and a decision. We can live in the past all the time. We can say, porque não aconteceu com o Slimani, it shouldn't happen to Eliseu.
No, you can't do
you
that
can't
anymore.
do that anymore because
That's ridiculous. But listen, if Eliseu gets punished, then I hope Maxi gets punished as well.
Of course, no, without a doubt.
Just
and I hope a Sporting player that does the same thing gets punished. A Belenenses player, a Braga player, Guimarães, it shouldn't be any different. Just because your club's name is Sporting Clube Lisboa, Benfica, or Sporting Clube Portugal, or Football Clube Porto, it shouldn't make any difference. If you commit those kind of fouls, that's a professional player, that's your colleague playing for another team, but you're about to bust his leg and end his career.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not cool.
Maxi learned it from Benfica, by the way.
Yeah, of course. I don't. I've told you. I'd have to see it again. But what I saw at first is that I think he could have avoided it. But it's just that type of thing. Are we going to? Okay, I don't know what the hell that was. But yeah, we're gonna see if the work with the video arbiter, because my opinion is, if you're watching the game with cameras, then if you miss it, I'm not sure how much power you have to bring it up on a summarissim. I think that was the idea at first, was to end one thing and keep the other. By the way, for those not Portuguese speakers, the summarissim is basically where the Liga goes over a play or whatever, and then they decide upon it. Like a club asks the Liga, hey, review this play. I think this is like a red card, or this is aggression, or whatever it is, and they look up into it.
Yeah, in this case was actually Sporting that brought it up, and they complained about that specific play with Eliseu, and the league is looking into it, but the club has to complain.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, that's the thing with the summarissim. All right, but we all gave our 2 cents on this play, so I think, unless anybody has anything else to add, I think we move on.
I'm good.
All right then. Also, Benfica let go of a guy, Tiago Dias, I think, to AC Milan. Still rumors flowing with the underliked goalkeeper, but we'll see how things go. It doesn't look like anything is 100% done so far, besides the Carrilho thing, right? Carrilho is supposedly going to Watford. I think he already left Lisbon. If so, good luck to him. He won a championship. I'm not mad at him. So, thank you for everything you've done with my club. It wasn't a lot, but you won titles, so that's all that matters. All right, moving on.
He's missing the working visa. In England, it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, but I think he already traveled there, so that's why I think it's basically done. Because the latest was that he had traveled to England.
Yeah, but in England, it's you have to be an international for your country. You have to meet certain requirements. You just don't go. Yeah, it's not easy in England, which is a good thing. I like it.
I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
They want quality players. That's what it is.
I mean, all right, but Carrilho's been in Portugal for over 6 years, and he's an international for their team. So, anyway, besides the point,
he is. Yep.
So let's move on to what Steph has been waiting to talk about, and that is Sporting. And I am sure he's really happy with these 2 games, at least score-wise. Sporting played Guimarães this weekend, which I thought would be. I wouldn't even call it a trap game, because we all knew it was going to be tough. But Bruno Fernandes had other ideas. He scored very early on. And the game just flew by Guimarães at that point. Basdot scored twice, Bruno Fernandes scored twice.
Wait, two Guimarães, they're not the same team they were last year. They're a much worse team. I've said it when they played Porto in the preseason and Benfica this season. They did play, yeah, right?
Yeah.
For the
And
that's super. That's
yeah, and I do agree with you. Um, but anyway, as I was saying, it was Patricio in goal, Piccini, Coates, Matthew, and Coentrão across the back, Bataglia and Adrian, Gelson and Acunha, Bruno Fernandes and Bas Dost. Um, Steph, what did you think of this game? I'm sure you were very happy with the performance overall.
Well, the Jorge Jesus, he played with the tactic was a 4-4-2, which against a team like Guimarães, it's perfect, um, because even though Guimarães just lost Marega and Hernani, they lost basically the offensive sector. So, and my friend Bruno from Tritugas, he kept on telling me, Guimarães is not that good anymore. They will struggle this year. Uh, and and I don't know if you remember, but at the very beginning of the preseason, before the first official game, everyone, all the podcasts were putting Guimarães on the very top, like fourth. They will finish fourth or fifth. And my friend Bruno, uh, he's also a coach. He said it. No, I don't think so. I think they will struggle and be in the mid tabella, the classification, and they I think they're waiting for Benfica, Sporting, and Porto to loan them players to them. That's what they're relying on. They're relying for the last cuts, uh, let's say the leftovers from the three big clubs, because now they're struggling. So from the get go, we dominated the game. Uh, we didn't give them any chance whatsoever. Man of the match, hands down, Bruno Fernandes. What a performance! What a maestro! I was like, what the hell? He's only 21. Let's keep that in mind. What a those two goals! Oh my God! I
Steph, what
was
did I
like,
keep telling? Didn't I say last week? I'm like, why doesn't he start this guy? And finally, he must have listened to me. He must have listened to the podcast.
well, the thing is, you he, what George Jesus like today with the Steaua Bucharest. He didn't play with Bas Dost at the beginning, uh, and sometimes we forget that he's with the players 24/7, so he knows the players better than anybody else. Maybe Bas Dost told him, "Listen, I'm tired, this and that." So he said, "Okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to play Dubia, and then if I need you, I'll put you in the second half." You know what I mean? So he knows the players better than we do, and there's a reason why the three top teams, Benfica, Sporting, and Porto, they invest so much money in the plantel, because it has to be 23, 24 good players, and against Guimarães, there's not much to talk about, exception for the beautiful goals. All five goals were beautiful, but the first one from Bruno Fernandes was just amazing. And we didn't give Guimarães any chance whatsoever. The only chance they had was when Piccini passed the ball to Rui Patricio, and actually,
Oh yeah, that was
yeah,
terrible.
yeah, that was the only a gaff to Piccini. But besides that, even Piccini played real well. He was very strong, strong performance. The whole team was very solid. So very happy, very content with the chemistry, and this is what I'm expecting from Sporting. So, but Guimarães is not the same Guimarães as last year. No, no, they're not.
No, they're not. Yeah,
Well,
and I
also
agree with you.
they
Yes.
had two players had got a red card last match. One of their key players. So
Yes,
Sporting had
yes.
that in their favor too.
Well, but they still play with 11 players. They weren't playing with 9.
No, yeah, I know that. No, Sporting had an amazing game. I was watching the game. I was like very surprised. Bruno Fernandes. I think he brings like a dynamic to the Sporting team. Even today in the playoff game,
Champions League.
he didn't score, but in the Champions League, yeah. But he those goals like the passing. I think the third goal was his pass to Gelson. that he passed Gelson, passed to Bas
Mm-hmm.
Dost. Yeah, but I mean, like
Yeah.
he brings such a good team.
I was, the funny thing about Bruno Fernandes, I was getting on the timeline um, some Benfica fans going like, why did we not sign this guy? And I'm not trying to take anything away from Sporting, by the way, Steph. Um, and one guy replied on my timeline, which I thought was quite interesting. They said Benfica already got Pizzi, and they signed a very talented player out of Rio Ave. We cannot have every single very good player. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes is a definite steal. Benfica fans can be annoyed that we didn't get him, but I mean we have other players as well, and we can't have everybody good. I mean, I wish we could, but that's not feasible.
No, exactly. We have our own arguments. Sporting is like you said on the last podcast, if not the last one, 2 podcasts ago. Uh, uh, Sporting has been sleeping. It's a giant being sleeping for a long time, and now we finally seeing Sporting waking up and being. I'm talking as a Sportingista, of course. Uh, we want to see Sporting being one of the big names in Europe. And finally, how do you become a big name in Europe? Of course, you have to win competitions. But let's be realistic. I don't see any Portuguese team winning the Champions League anytime soon, unless it's a fluke, you know. But the Liga Europa, we might have a chance. But when you go into a consistent basis to the Champions League, then you become a well-known team. People, oh yeah, I know Sporting, I know Porto, I know Benfica, because you're constantly making the Champions League, and that's what Sporting is trying to do, and they are getting there now, finally. And it takes time, it takes investment, it takes a lot of money, a lot of patience, a lot of coordination, and uh, we had bad luck with Godin Lopes, with Bintercourt. Bruno Carvalho, I think he's learning little by little that he has to shut up, not talk so much. And that's a good thing. But what you see now, it's a different Sporting. It's a Sporting that it wants to be involved at the big stages,
Mm-hmm.
always part of the Champions League. But the one thing I wanted to bring up is a player that everyone, and I'm talking about Sportingistas as well, which we're criticizing at the preseason from the get-go. Jeremy Mathieu, the center back. Everybody said, why did Sporting get him? He's so old, this and that. Now you see him play, and everyone says, oh, he's pretty fast. He brings experience. Look at him. He's a cool customer. Now you see a connection with the defense, midfield, and the offensive sector. All three sectors now.
Wasn't he on the bench in the Champions League game?
No,
No,
he started again.
Oh, he was subbed
we
out.
started.
Yeah, he started again, and he played well again. This guy is used to win these kind of competitions, to play at the big stages. So now he's playing with Coates, which people forget he's an Uruguayan international. Okay, he plays for one of the best national teams of the world, and also a cool customer. So Fabio Coentrão, I know he wasn't playing much at Real Madrid, but you know what? Quem sabe nunca esquece. If you know, you know, you'll never forget it. He's getting back in shape now. You could see that on the left sector, left fullback with Fabio Coentrão, he gives us a lot of security, and offensively, he's also an amazing player. He's maybe now at like 85%, but once he gets to 100%, wow.
So I was just going to say that we'll see how things go. I just wanted to give you something, just tell you something that I heard on Sport TV, which I thought was quite interesting. Was when the game was practically over. It's how how JJ likes to praise older players. He likes to have those older guys. But the guy on Sport TV was saying, Bruno Fernandes and Gelson won him that game. This game that we're going to talk about with Steaua. So it's kind of, interesting how we how I think Sporting is evolving and almost becoming Benfica in the way that they're mixing the younger guys with the older guys, which is what they need.
No, we've been doing that. We're not like Benfica at all. Don't even compare
Uh,
us to Benfica because we
are
don't
you?
like that. Wait, I know what you're trying.
Don't take it. Don't take it the wrong way.
No. I'm not taking it, but that's not a good example. You can
It
compare,
is. Look. Patricio's older.
you could compare.
Coates, Matthew, Coentrão,
You,
Adrian, Bas Dost. Those are all older guys. And
no,
then you have the youngsters.
I understand, but we're not like Benfica whatsoever. We've had the mix, but the chemistry wasn't there because sometimes you have to spend more money. Our budget now is doubled from past years, and that's the way it is. If you want good teams, you have to invest money, and when you don't invest, then Pershing said you lose 5-0.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
I'm surprised you kind of got another what I said, but that's all right.
Sporting before could not invest at all. They were broke. We almost bankrupted. Sporting was broke.
I know, but that wasn't what I was, but whatever. It's all right. You didn't like my analogy. It's fine. Even though he's doing exactly what he did with Benfica, but that's all right.
No, we're not doing what
you are. But whatever, I'll move on.
We're not whatsoever because we have the best academy in Portugal that produces the best players, and that's a fact. You look at the national teams, Sub-21 or the A team, and we have the most.
We have the most players out of the youth ranks. Come on, you should know that.
You're talking about under 19 and 17?
Under 18, under 19, under 17, under 16, under 15. Most of those are all Benfica players. I don't have the numbers with me. Check it. I'm not lying to you.
And what did I say? Sub-21? And
that's still
the national team. That's what I said.
Yeah, but that's still the other guys. That's not. I think everything goes through phases, but I already talked about it. Let's not. I don't want to get back into that again.
No, it's fine. But the thing is, when a national coach they call players from a certain team, they call Sub-19 and Sub-17. He called more of the Benfica players. But who won the junior league? Sporting. Who won the juvenile?
But that doesn't mean anything. The talent is what matters. Sporting spent years and years and years without winning, yet they still have the most players in the national team. Why? Because they have the talented players.
Well, win. I know, but you know what? I'm not going to talk about that because me personally, knowing what I know today by listening to different shows, I really believe there's some extra how Benfica with certain championships. I'm not going to say all of them, but certain championships, I think so.
All right, whatever. I'm not going to get into
that. No, that's fine. I don't want you. I don't want to get into it too. I don't want to get into it.
I just didn't want you to get mad at what I said. You have your opinion, I guess. Okay, fine. But I do have my idea that that JJ is just trying to. The thing what I was trying to say, it could have been Braga, it could have been whatever. I just said Benfica because that's where he spent the longest time, and what he's trying to mimic the same thing that he did in Benfica with Sporting. I wasn't trying, to say that you're exactly the same because you aren't. The playing style isn't actually the same that he played when he was at Benfica. The tactic isn't the same. But I was just trying to say that the core of what he's trying to do is basically the same. By the way, check the quote that I just sent it to you on Sporting Updates, by the way, because I want to talk about that. But I think that pretty much covers it for this game against Guimarães, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The Sporting dominated from the beginning until the end. It could have been 7-0, 8-0. I know a couple of people were questioning a push from Bas Dost on a Guimarães player. But like I said last week against Tubal, Sporting got lucky that we got the call. If we didn't get the call, to tell the truth, I wouldn't have been upset. It's one of those calls that the referee could have gone either way. Yeah, he called penalty. Good. Bas Dost under pressure at 86 minutes against Tubal. He scored the goal, the penalty. Great. But if you didn't call the penalty, me personally, just me. I'm my own person. I wouldn't have been upset if you didn't call it. So to the Twitter followers and PT 40 podcast followers, was that a penalty? It could have been, but the referee decided that it was not enough intensity on the push, so he didn't call it. But it's all up to the referee. Each play that each person that falls into the inside the box, it doesn't mean it's going to be automatically a penalty. It's the criteria of the referee. So they look at if the player is leaning back on the defender, and now the defender, what's his reaction? It's to lean back on that player too. So they look at all these angles and stuff like that. So if they would have called a penalty against Sporting in this play, it would have been fine. But he didn't, so that's fine too.
All right. So let's move on to the Steelers game, because still have two or three things more to talk about. And check the quote, by the way, if you haven't already. Steelers lost 5-1 to Sporting. Dumbia, Dost, Bataglia, Cunha, and Gelson all scored. It was a very even game until the second Sporting goal, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. Patricio in goal, Piccini, Coates, Matthew, and Coentrão across the back, Bataglia and Adrian in the midfield, Gelson and Acunha on the wings, with Bruno Fernandes playing up top with Dumbia, like Steph said a little bit earlier. I'm going to go first, because I don't have a lot to talk about, and then I'll let Richard and Steph up in. I thought it was a very difficult game overall for Sporting. Especially because Steelers came off really, really strong in the beginning of the second half, but they didn't get their goal. And Bas Dost came in. He drifted out to the wing for one play that allowed Acunha to get into his space. It was a perfectly played diagonal pass, and he kind of got lucky with the bounce. But it was a great play. They scored 2-1, and after that they opened the floodgates. Like Steph said off the air, and won the game pretty much easily. But it was a tough 60-something minutes of play, in my opinion, at least until that second goal. It wasn't an even game. Sporting didn't smash them by any means necessary for most of the game. Only the final, 35 minutes. All right, I don't know who wants to go next. Rich, you want to say anything?
I'll go real quick. I mean, I didn't watch most of the game because I was at work, but it seemed like when I turned on, Benfica Sporting scored 2 goals right away. But I did watch the highlights of the first goal, and I was surprised. I mean, it seemed like Sporting. I didn't see the beginning, so I'm not sure if they were really attacking or not. But from the second half, after they suffered the goal, it seemed like they were on the offensive, trying to get that second goal. And then from there on, it just kept scoring. But I wanted to get Steph's perspective. What did he think about Marcus Acunha? And, since he got his first goal, I thought, I don't know how Sporting fans have been feeling about him, but, I just wanted to get your perspective on the way he played.
Well, Acunha is usually he plays on the midfield, on the left side midfield, and he brings basically security as far as I watched the whole game. And by the way, when I was watching the whole game, I pulled out all my 12 jerseys, Sporting jerseys, my 4 scarves. I lined them up next to me. I did a little ritual to give good luck to my club. I took some
Naga.
Yeah. Teixeira.
Teixeira Naga.
Naga Teixeira dos Estados Unidos. And I took some cool pictures and I put them on Twitter. But that's the kind of fan I am. I'm a true Sportingista. I eat, breathe, drink, live Sporting 24/7. That's why you see me so active on Twitter all the time. But with that said, Acuna brings. I watched the whole game and carefully by myself. Told my kids, go outside, lock myself in the basement. Told my wife, não fales comigo, agora estou a ver o meu jogo. That's it. And he brings security. He brings comfort as far as protecting the left side of our field, of our pitch, as far as defense. So it's hard to pass by him. He's a very, very tough individual, and that alone, I love it because we lacked of that for such a long time. And then he's not that. He's not like Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, he's got skills. He could dribble. Acuna is more strength. He's more tactical wise. Jorge Jesus knows if I put him here, he's gonna have a good chemistry with Fábio Coentrão, and that's happening. And that's so important because for the longest time, we lacked of that. Com Jefferson or Isgaio, we struggled big time. So that's a really, really good addition, and I'm expecting more things from him. But he's the kind of player like who can we relate from Benfica? Feza. He works hard, but people sometimes don't notice him because he does all the nitty gritty, all this tiny plays that's needed. But it's not like Bas Dost or Bruno Fernandes, but he's like a working bee, and that's what Acuna is. And I'm so glad we got him. So glad.
All right. Did that answer your question, Rich?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good.
All right. So again, your thoughts on the game, Steph, as quick as it can be, but not, super quick, but
Gotcha. Estás a dizer que eu falo muito.
Nah, it's just that we still have a few questions.
Okay, I'll make
the draw to talk about.
I'll make it fast. So I'm basically I'm agreeing with your statement from what you said about the Sporting Steaua Bucharest game. The first half was ugly, but there's a reason why, and the reason is Steaua Bucharest, even playing it at home, they were playing a 4-2-3-1. Okay, they were playing super defensive. They were still, even though they were still playing at home, they were playing in a counting attack mode, just like our small teams do in Portugal, and that makes it much more difficult until you score a goal, and then when Sporting scored the first goal, Dubia, at minute 13, I thought the second one was just about to come a few minutes later. But then, we had one of those brain farts, an unlucky play that their best player created, Ali Beck, Dennis, number 7. And he was the most productive, active player for Steaua Bucharest. And out of nothing, Junior Moraes at minute 20 scored the goal for Bucharest and then he tied the game. And then like the players couldn't believe it, and they were fighting the negative momentum. And then the second half came along, and that was a good thing. And then, believe it or not, the second half begun, and Steaua Bucharest again. They came out very strong, and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? It's going to be one of those games that we have to suffer until the very end. And then the second goal came along at minute 60, and then after that, that's it. The game was over. We scored the goal. It was Bruno Fernandes para Acuna, rasgar, yeah, and then bang. And then another goal came at minute 64. And then it was Gelson Martins. And then we got the fourth goal, minute 75. It was Bas Dost. And then the last one, but not least, it was Battaglia. That was a beautiful play too, collectively. So this win It's so important for Sporting. I mean, we're talking about $15 million. That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that we needed that money. We're back in the Champions League, which is good overall for Portugal. So we can move up the ranks. Now we have Sporting, Porto, e Benfica in the Champions League, and good luck tomorrow to Braga and Marítimo. I hope they have good games too. We need to stick together when we play international games. I hate when people say, "Oh, I don't care about Benfica or Porto." Actually, Richard knows me for a long time, and what I'm about to say is the truth. When Benfica plays
Yeah.
international, when Porto plays international, I'm always rooting for our teams. If you ask Bruno from Three Tugas, he'll tell you the same thing, and that's so important because next year only the champion will go directly. The
Yeah.
second,
This might be the last year that we'll have three Portuguese teams in the Champions League right now. Could be.
well, you're talking about the new formula. Yeah, I know that's bullshit, but
Yeah.
anyway, this game with the Sporting, it was a real hard fought game until minute 60, like you said, Peter. But then after that, after we scored the second goal, then we dominated, and I'm glad we won. That money will be so important, and we're back in the Champions
Yeah.
League. And that's it. That's all she wrote. And now, que venham ao Estoril, mais cinco, domingo.
That's gonna be an easy game.
Wh-
Um, all
When
right.
is the drawing, by the
So
way? Is it tomorrow?
tomorrow,
Yeah,
tomorrow,
yep.
and Europa League is the day after. Um, so I'm gonna give you guys real quick. I should actually DM it to both of you, which I'm going to do right now. So just so you guys know what I'm looking at. Okay, I sent you both the draw, the pots, right? So pot one, we've got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Juventus, Benfica, Monaco, Spartak Moscow, and Shakhtar Donetsk. Pot two, we got Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, PSG, Dortmund, Sevilla, City, Porto, and Man United. Pod 3, Napoli, Tottenham, Basel, Olympiacos, Anderlecht, Liverpool, Roma, and Besiktas. Pod number 4, Celtic, CSKA Moscow, Apoel, Feyenoord, Sporting, Maribor, Karabag, and RB Leipzig. Who wants to take first on what will be the best draw for them?
Woo! That's a tough one.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So pot 2 is incredibly difficult, but I would go Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, and Man United. Those are the easiest teams in my opinion. Barcelona is a no-no. PSG no-no. Dortmund's difficult, and Man City is not good to play, and we can't play Porto. So I would say either Atletico, Sevilla, or United. Pot number 3, I would go Basel, Olympiacos, Anderlecht, Roma, Besiktas, Napoli. Basically, I'm not scared of any team on pot 3 except for Tottenham and Liverpool. I think Benfica can be, I wouldn't like to play Napoli again, but you know, besides Tottenham, Liverpool, and Napoli, I'm okay with any team. And pot number 4, I would take, pretty much anyone but Leipzig, Moscow, and Feyenoord. But I don't think it would be difficult. If I had to pick one, I would go Benfica, Sevilla, Olympiacos or Basel actually, and Maribor or Karabag. Karabag, just to make it easier. What about you guys?
Go ahead.
I think for me, similar to you. So Porto would have to get somebody from pot one. So that's a little difficult. But I think I would take either Sporting or Shakhtar Donetsk out of that pot. Um, I mean, if we do get someone on the harder teams, it could be Chelsea. I wouldn't mind Chelsea or even Monaco at this point. Um, Let me see. The third pot, pretty much everyone is okay. I mean, Napoli, I wouldn't want. Tottenham, no. Liverpool, no. Um, Out of the other four teams, Basel, Olympiacos, Anderlecht, Roma, Besiktas, I wouldn't mind taking one of them. Celtic, CSK Moscow. Definitely not Celtic. Uh, any of the other teams is fine for me. But so my ideal pot would be, I guess, Spartak Moscow. Uh, I would say Anderlecht and I don't care, Leipzig.
It wouldn't be an easy game. What about you, Steph?
Okay, so the part one. Holy crap! You kidding me?
You can get Real Madrid again.
Oh meu Deus
Yay!
do céu!
Can you imagine? Oh my God! Can you could get Real Madrid and PSG in your group?
If we
Jesus.
if we want a fighting chance, I would say okay. So either Spartak Moscow or Shakhtar Donetsk in that order, or Juventus, and that's it. That's it. Okay. I would like to stay away, of course, from Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, uh, Benfica. We all know same country can play together. We all know that. So that's why we haven't said it. We're not that dumb. Monaco, I would stay. I don't know. Monaco, it's funny because if they sell their best player, the market's still open until the 31st. Then I wouldn't mind Monaco. Uh, but my first choice would be Shakhtar Donetsk. That would be if we want a packed stadium and see Ronaldo, of course, Real Madrid. From the part two, my God, it's not any better. Kidding me?
No, it's not.
Athletic Madrid. No, it's Sevilla. Sevilla. Yeah. I wouldn't like. We don't have good chemistry. We don't have any good luck with Borussia Dortmund from German teams. Yeah, I would say Sevilla. And then my second option would be Athletic Madrid. So I think we could compete against them. And then the part three, it's getting a little bit better, but not much better too. Uh, Anderlecht, Basel, Olympiacos, Besiktas. I would stay away from Roma, Liverpool, Tottenham, or Naples. Yeah, so interesting. Basel, yeah, that would be Olympiacos or Besiktas. We usually do pretty good with Turkish teams. And then the last but not least, that's it. Yeah, because
that's it.
We
Yeah, because you're part four. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So unless you guys have anything else to add, I'd like to get to the questions.
Go ahead.
All right.
No,
so
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna talk about next week's matches. Like, just.
I'll let you go in. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, is it all away or is Sporting playing at home again?
Sporting's playing at home, I think.
Yeah, we play Studio at home.
Okay, so that I think Sporting will hands down win that game. No problem. Rio Ave Benfica, I think that's going to be one of the good matches to watch because Rio Ave squad is really good. I've enjoyed watching them. The only thing is Yuri Ribeiro is not going to be able to play because he's a Benfica loanee to them. But good thing the coach tried out last week how that would work, and that worked out fine. And of course the Porto Braga game or Porto game is going to be really tough too. So I think those are going to be good matches, especially Saturday and Sunday. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. I agree with you, to be honest.
That's all you guys say? That's all you got to say? You agree?
Yeah, no, I do, because Porto is gonna have a tough game, but I think they're gonna end up winning probably easier than we expect. Benfica has one of the toughest.
Braga sold Rui Font. They're
not even because of that, but that's all right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Braga, they rebuilding the team, and people they think it's dois, três, and that's it. It takes time to build the chemistry and to build the way the coach wants the team to play. O Abel. But prognósticos: Sporting 4, Estoril 0, Sporting 4, Estoril 0, Braga 2, Porto 2, and Rio Ave 2, Benfica 2.
All right. If I have to go with prognosticus, I'll go Sporting like 5,000 to 0. It's gonna be an easy, maybe 3-0 win for Sporting. Porto 2, Braga 1, and Benfica notches a 2-0 win away at Rio Ave, or 1-0. But I'm gonna go 2-0 just because I can only choose one result.
The only reason why I said 2-2, it's because I don't really the Benfica defense is kind of shaky now. That's why. Because as far as your new player, he's amazing. Luis Ferrobit, what a player, man! You guys got a good player.
Yeah, it looks like it. What about you, Rich? So you didn't give out predictions.
No, I agree. I mean, similar to you, Peter. I think the Benfica game is going to be close, though. I would say Benfica wins 1-0. Some kind of, it's going to be a tight match. Porto, same thing. It's going to be another tight match. Porto wins 2-1. Sporting, I think they'll do well and they'll win 2-0 at least. So, but you never know. I mean, Braga still has to play, I believe, their second leg of the European League.
Yes, they do. Tomorrow.
So they'll be a little tired. But I don't know. Not to hold on. I don't think Braga has, like Steph was saying, they are still rebuilding their team. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they don't have a replacement for the Rui Font, their attacker. So
they got us.
I mean, Hassan, I don't know. I don't think he still has a lot to prove. I don't know. I don't think he's that great yet.
If he hasn't proven it by now, guest.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, whatever.
But Braga, I think Braga has a good defense, though. I really like Esgaio and Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not so much Jefferson, but I mean, they are offensive wingbacks, so they do bring pressure. But I really don't think that. I think the game is going to be close again, and it's probably going to be 2-1. But the Rio Ave game in Benfica is also going to be close, so we'll see.
All right. So now I'm just going to move on to a couple of questions. We got to be really quick, guys, because we're already over 1 hour and 20 minutes. So Danielle sent us a couple of questions. Thank you, Daniel, by the way. So this one's just gonna be yes or no, okay, guys?
Okay.
Do you see any major departures from the big three before the transfer window closes?
I'll go first. So from Sporting, it looks like most likely William Carvalho. I don't think he was injured. Most Sporting issues don't think he was injured. But I understand why he was kept away from these crucial games, because if we're demanding, it looks like West Ham to pay up. I think Assad Sporting was looking into 38 million plus five in objectives. So if we ask him for that much money, I understand that West Ham would say, "Hey, don't play him because if he gets hurt, we're not going to pay up." So I think William Carvalho will be gone. We might see. I don't think so, though. Maybe Adrian Silva. But so far, everything's been really quiet around him. No one's showing much interest. The last team was Tottenham, but the last offer was very low. And besides those two players, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coming in, they were talking about Gabigol from Inter Milan. Which now it popped up that Benfica is also interested. So, and that's kind of funny because Benfica he's got enough striker forward. So I don't even know why they would want him. Maybe
Probably
because
because Raul might leave.
Carrillo is left out as well. Maybe because of that. But they have excellent strikers, and this guy wants to come and play because he's not playing in Inter Milan. And I don't see him just going to Sporting or Benfica and
Just to be on the
yes,
bench.
and play right away because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the only one that Sporting was looking into. It was Gabigol and another one. I got to tell my first. But go ahead. I'll think about it. Go ahead.
Well, I'll go
Rich,
real quick.
yes.
Porto, real quick. I don't think there's gonna be anything unless someone really pays up for Danilo. But besides that, I really don't see anybody else being sold.
All right. So, all right. He asked, and guys, just say the name of the team because we are really low on time. Okay. So he said,
What about Benfica? Jimenez, I heard rumors he might be leaving.
No big departures. I don't care if Jimenez leaves. He's not a big departure. Anyone besides Pizzi, Jonas, it's not a big departure. And Feza, basically. That's basically it. So, although we are only in the beginning, which team has looked the most impressive in your opinion so far?
Okay, so so far all three, I mean, look at the last games: 5-0, 5-0, 3-0.
I think it's head to head, right?
Yeah,
like we were really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'd say the 3. To be honest, I don't think we can.
No.
We can't pick one.
No,
up
I agree.
yet.
The three, and I would add Rewav too there too. I think they've been having a good season, but again, let's see when they play against the big three what happens. But let's see.
So he asked also about Mark Silva, but we'll leave that for next week. He's got a question seeing if there's any. Do you guys think there's going to be any surprises with Fernando Santos' selection this Thursday?
Well, I hope so.
Eder won't be there.
Like who though, Steph? Who do you surprises? Who would you consider a surprise?
Bruno Fernandes.
Okay, fair point. All right. I don't know. I don't think so. And he asked me about Bruno Varela's play so far as Benfica's number 1. He's been okay, not overly impressive, hasn't fucked up yet. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. He's not my choice, but as long as he doesn't compromise, I'm not moving him from there. As long as he's playing well, you may stay there. That's pretty much it. You play well, you stay on the field.
Is Bruno Cesar still hurt?
No, Bruno Cesar played today for Sporting, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, wait, you're talking about Jules Cesar.
The goalie. The goalie.
Yeah, he is, I think.
No, I think he's fine now. He's back. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. And we got one final question from Neil. He asked, when are Kevin and Sam coming back? They should be both back next week. Kevin's got a little bit of a big announcement to make. I'm not going to spoil anything. But you will see, Neil. I also answered your question about the Champions League draw, so we didn't get to that question. So I'll answer Daniel's question next week. I'd like to thank Steph for everything you've done today, because it was a really nice job. You had to host the podcast when we logged out. I'd like to thank Rich for staying with me and Steph all this long. Yeah, guys, thank you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to say really fast, because they never get enough credit. It's really fast, I swear to God.
Okay.
Our ladies, they are involved in the Champions League. They have a very important game coming up on the 25th. Best of luck to them. Go Sporting ladies.
All right.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. See you guys next week.
See you. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. Bye.
All right. See you. You gotta press off the air.